Hello everyone, it's RiverBendSurvival again. I recently did a video on my cook set that I'm using and how to make coffee, drip coffee in the woods, I think is the title of the video. In that video I said that I wasn't going to do any backpacking videos because it's all new to me. The response I've gotten has been overwhelmingly negative to that idea. I'm going to say honestly, it's been 100%. The comments on the video, the instant messages, the comments on Facebook have been 100% against not doing videos about it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up its own spot in my channel, and I'm just going to put it as the category of backpacking. And the reason I decided to go ahead and do it is because, as it was pointed out to me, a lot of other people that are new to it could learn from the mistakes that I'm inevitably going to make. So the only way to do this video series, or however you want to categorize it, to do it fairly, is to start with, let me show you what I'm starting with, what's in my backpack, what backpack I'm using, and then we'll see over the years how it changes, what things are added, what things are taken out. I can always get comments from people that have a lot more experience than me. Hey, have you tried this? Or you might want to switch this for that, or those kind of comments that'll help me along the way. So we'll get the video started here, and then after that I'll show you the pack I'm using and what's in it today. Okay, what I'm using is I told you in that video that at a meetup like 2 years ago, they had an auction to help raise funds to cover the cost, or part of the cost, for the meetup in Tennessee. A great guy that we lost recently named Richard donated this pack to the auction. It was brand new, still in a bag, never been used. I won it at the auction at a substantial discount over what it would have cost new, but nonetheless, I got this bag. So this is the bag I'm going to use. No ifs, ands, or buts. This is the bag I'm going to use for backpacking until it breaks. It means a lot to me where I got it. It means a lot to me from who it came from, and it's just a darn good bag. So let's get started with the bag. It's the Kelty Lakota 85. I'm sorry, I don't know the cubic inches. It's a large bag. I just don't know the technical inches on it, cubic inches. It has so many pockets that I sometimes have trouble remembering where I'm putting the stuff because this is new to me. On the very top here, it has a big pocket up here, which I'm going to call pocket 1. That becomes important later when I change the camera around and show you what goes in the bag. But I have pocket 1 up here, which is huge. It's just a monstrous huge pack. Right here on the top also is pocket number 2. It's a fairly large pocket. It has cinch straps and compression straps all the way around. This piece folds out of the way and goes to the standard giant bucket type pocket. Ton of room in it. On the front, it's got what I call pocket number 3, which is a great organizing type pocket. It just holds just an absolute flat ton of stuff. The important thing for me right now is that this bag holds so much stuff that I have to keep telling myself, just because I can put more stuff into it doesn't mean I need to. As you'll see when I get to the setup down here of what I'm carrying right now, I'm trying to keep it minimum. It's not ultralight, but I'm trying to keep it minimum. On the bottom, it has the sleeping bag compartment down here. And it has a divider inside. If you just want to make it one deep bucket, you can, but I keep it separate from my sleeping bag. On each side, it has pretty good sized mesh pockets on both sides of it. It has a rain fly Right here in this pocket is a rain fly that is attached to the bag. So it's quick and easy to get to. I can just, if rain's coming, I can just take it out, put it over the bag, and I'm good to go. On the left-hand side of the belt, it has a regular pouch pocket, good size pouch pocket. On the right side, I'm stealing from someone and I don't know who it is anymore. I showed in a video a while back that I like to carry what I'm calling the bottle muzzle. I just like having a water bottle on my side. I'm not a big fan of all these hydration bladders. They're fine and I do use them sometimes, but I would rather have a water bottle. And I saw on a video, and I cannot for the life of me remember who it was. It was actually a hammocking video that I was watching, and on his bag he had talked about he had taken a water bottle holder and attached it to his backpacking belt. So I had an old, it's up there, waist belt that went around with all the pockets on it, and this was part of it. I took it off and had to take 2 pieces off of it, and it attached right to, no sewing or anything, it attached right to the loops on the right side. So now a full-size smart water bottle, which everybody should know that I carry a lot, fits right into it. Or I can use a metal bottle. I can use any bottle I want to in it, but I'm using this. It has a single beam support system in it. And when I first saw this bag, I thought that I was going to feel that. I can't. It's recessed in there and I can't feel it. It's got great padding all the way around, thick padding that aerates well. It's supposed to have the dynamic airflow system. I don't know exactly what that means, but it's got it. It's hot here, so I'm going to get hot wearing a backpack no matter what. I'm going to be hot without a backpack. Putting a backpack on is hot. But I have had much hotter packs on my back than this. It has very good padding and airflow on the shoulder straps. It has a sternum harness that goes across it that has the expansion in it right here. It's got a grab handle up here that I have hanging from this bungee from the ceiling right now. It's got cinch straps on the bottom so that, and I have already done it, I carried a thermarest, the big roll up. Here, I'll just show you. I had this strapped right to the bottom. It's got straps down there for it. I like these okay. You know what? I'm not going to get into that discussion about that right now. Anyway, on the outside of this, I just have some different kinds of carabiners for putting up tarps and strings and stuff. I have these little ones. I have a couple of bigger ones, those cheap ones that are you're not going to hang from them. And then I've got a 800-pound locking stainless steel carabiner right here, just in case, whoever knows. I keep telling myself, while we're talking about the carabiner here, I keep telling myself this is not a survival, this is not a bug out bag, this is just going out for the weekend and enjoying myself for a couple of days. I still revert back to my wheelhouse with the survival, with the bushcrafting. I'm trying to stay away from it, but not to a degree where I put myself or my daughter, who goes with me on almost all these trips, into a position where we don't have what we might need in case an emergency comes up. So that's the bag I'm using, the Kelty Lakota 85. I'll get the camera switched and I'll show you the contents that are in it. Okay, I can't think of a better way to format this or lay this out so y'all can see. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of keep the camera like this, and then I'll move the camera around the table as we go. It doesn't take long. There's not a lot in here really. I'm not going to go into very much of any detail about each of these parts. I'll break those down into separate videos, preferably when I'm out using it. Anyway, pocket number one, the big pocket on the top that I told you about earlier. Inside there I carry a sewing kit, which is just a USGI sewing kit, and it has, you know, the normal stuff. A couple of different colors of thread, little scissors, buttons, safety pins, that kind of stuff. Nothing fancy there. It's in this nice little water resistant pouch. I carry a red bandana, always a good thing to have. I carry a pair of leather work gloves. I carry my first aid kit. My first aid kit in this bag is more substantial than the one that I normally carry for bushcrafting, which fits in an Altoids tin. This has some different things in it. I'll go over that when the time's appropriate. And I also carry bug spray. This last trip I happened to take this can with me. That's what was still on the top of the bag. On the side pockets, I already showed that the big water bottle I carry in the pocket that I attach to the waist strap, and this one just goes in one of the side pockets. It's just an extra bottle that I'll use. I'll show you what I use it for. Pocket number 2, the little one on top, has the light that I use at night at the campsite, and this bag, which has my headlamp. It's just a black diamond. A ton of extra batteries are in here, and a Ziploc bag for both of these lights, and for this if I need it. I've gone over this before, but it's important enough that I think I will touch on it again. This is supposed to go on the back of a bicycle. I think joggers can use them too. This is one of the best signaling devices that I've come across. It works for me even in an emergency situation. It works for me even while I'm asleep, taking a nap, because if it's at night, rescuers are going to see this. It's incredibly bright. I'm not aiming it directly at the camera right now because it makes the camera freak out when I do that. It'll run for hours and hours and hours on AA battery. Now, when we were in Tennessee, while we're on this subject real quick, while we were in Tennessee, we experimented with these lights. I have a bunch of them now. I'm sorry, I don't know the brand. I do know that it came from Academy. I think Walmart. I mean, not Walmart. I think Target and someone else. I can't remember who, where else I saw them at. Carries these. They're extremely bright. Once again, I'm not aiming it at the... But you can see the shadows and lights it's throwing, and I'm under 4 lights right now for filming, so it's that bright. At the meetup in Tennessee, we hung one under the tarp that was over our picnic table, and we let it burn all night, every night we was there, and it never even got close to running out of battery power. So that was like 40 hours straight runtime, or more. It was more than 40 hours straight runtime on the 2 AA's in there, so that's plenty of light for a regular backpacking trip. Now then, this, if you saw the, well, I just did pictures, so if you follow me on Facebook, you saw that me and Claire just did a backpacking trip where we tried it with hammocks. Hammock is not my favorite way to camp anymore, and I'll cover that later in a different video. But you'll see as this kit moves up that there's not a hammock in my kit anymore. Anyway, underneath, if you saw the pictures on Facebook, underneath was a 4-foot by 4-foot piece of tarp. This is just one of those cheap tarps from, you can get them at Kmart or Harbor Freight's where this one actually came from. And it was a 4-foot by 6-foot tarp. I cut it in half, so there's 2 3-foot by 2-foot pieces out of it, just to put down on the ground, to sit on, to kneel on. On the hammock, we had them spread out below us, so when we stepped out of the hammock, we stepped on them. Inside of my backpack, there is a sleeve for the hydration bladder. I slide this into that sleeve. Oh, I forgot something. Hold on. It's right here. I also slide this into the sleeve. This is just a thermal reusable blanket. You've seen them on my other videos. It's got the silver on one side, the blue on the other, waterproof. During the summer, I use it with the blue side up, silver side down. I don't want the heat reflected to me, and I want the ground heat down here kept at bay during the winter. I flip it over, silver side up, blue side down. That goes in the same hydration bladder pocket. You can see they're the same size as a hydration bladder. Next, in the front organizer pocket that I told you about, pocket 3, the one that runs down the front of the pack, I keep just bank line. I'm not going to go over the bank line again. I keep a hank of paracord. I keep my bathroom kit. I'll go over bathroom kit on a separate video. I may do that in the building, in the house here. I'll go over the bathroom kit. And in this bag here is my Sawyer. The reason I mentioned the other bottle earlier is, as most of you probably already know, the Sawyer will hook to the top of a smart water bottle with ease. So I carry 2 of these. I'm looking around right now trying to figure out why the other one isn't in here, because I took it out when I was doing something. Anyway, I carry 2 of these. One is for clean water and one is marked for dirty water. And when I scoop up water into it, I put my Sawyer on it, and then I squeeze the water out into this one and the other backup one, or a hydration bladder, whatever I'm using at the time. That's pocket 3, the one on front. Now then, let me zoom in just a little bit, and there's a couple, as you're going to see, I'm getting more into the comfort. I do carry a stool with me. I went in too far. Let's do it this way. I do carry a stool with me. It's a little cheap folding stool. It works well. It used to have a strap on it so you could carry it over your shoulder or whatever you want to do with it. It weighs just about half a pound. I'll sacrifice carrying an extra half a pound to have someplace nice and comfortable and dry to sit on when I'm out camping. And it goes right in a side pocket, one of the mesh pockets, and the straps hold it on there. Right here, of course, is the one that I just did the video on for the coffee, drip coffee in the woods. There's the bag, the idea that I got from Shane Coffee. There is the set that I did in the video. And there is a pan that this just sets into in case I want to cook something instead of just doing Mountain House meals. If I'm going to cook something, I take this with me, and they just sit together in there. If I'm not going to be taking food to cook, then this doesn't go with me. I am actually looking for a better pan, preferably a deeper one that fits better with this. Maybe even something that this fits into with a lid. But that's something, I'm experimenting with that right now. Just for now, understand that I have that pan if I want to cook something. This is my food bag. I don't even know what brand it is. I'm sure it came from Academy or Bass Pro Academy. It's the No Limits waterproof bag. And I carry, well, like, once again, going back to the Tennessee trips, that's not a good example because I have an ice chest there. But I can carry easily a week's worth of food in here. Easily, it's not even in question. And inside is a green piece of cordage with a little carabiner on it to hang it up. Or down here we call them coon bags. Up north they call them bear bags. We don't have bears down here. But so I can just hang it up. The cord's kept right inside of it. Now we'll get to the last part of what I'm carrying right now. I use the, once again, Academy. And some people think, or ask me, am I sponsored by Academy? No, it's just where I'm finding the best deals right now. Sometimes everything I buy is from Walmart. Sometimes everything I buy is from Bass Pro. It just depends on who has the best deal and what I'm looking for at the time. I'm carrying a No Limits tent. It weighs just about 3 pounds. I'll do a complete review on this. The people that were in Tennessee, they saw it. This is the tent I was using. Inside here is my tent, rain fly, tent poles, and ground cover. That's all inside this bag right here. And I'm not using a stuffed sack on it right now because the bag it came with does pretty good. It's a little long, but of course I have a ton of room in that bag. In this bag that sits with it is the little bungees that I like, string, tent stakes, all that stuff is inside this bag right here. I started to talk about the sleeping pad, the Thermarest one, the foam one. It's fine. It's better than sleeping on the ground. A lot of people love it, and there's a lot of good things to be said for it. But it is not nearly as comfortable as a self-inflating Thermarest. So I have one of those. I borrowed Kenneth Cram's one time when me and him were camping. He had an extra one, and I borrowed it and slept on it and slept like a baby, and went home and immediately bought this one. I love it. It changed everything about sleeping on the ground for me. In here is an inflatable pillow. It's just in a Magellan bag. It may be a Magellan pillow, I don't know. I'm sure this came from Academy too, but it's just one of those little air inflatable pillows. When I do a video showing the tent and all the stuff set up in it, then I'll show this. I did a video a while back for the last item that's in my pack right now. I did a video a while back called DIY Top Quilt when I was experimenting with hammock camping. Shortly thereafter, we had a Texas meetup in Abilene, and it got pretty darn cold, and I took the top quilt with me and froze to death. It was an absolute failure as a top quilt. What it did do though, well, the next night I didn't sleep in a hammock. I slept in a tent, an extra tent that a guy had. I slept in a small little pup tent like Bob Knight uses. I slept in that exact same kind of tent with my Thermarest air pad on the bottom, and used it as a top quilt, and slept like a baby. It was just being up in the air. Anyway, y'all know what I'm talking about. So because of the temperature down here, I'm going to say 10 months minimum, 10 months out of the year, I'm use this, which is the top quilt that I made out of the French sleeping bag. If you have any questions about this, go and look at DIY Top Quilt. 10 months minimum out of the year, I use that bag. I have the one that I did the review on, the No Limits 32 degree bag or zero, I don't remember, you can look it up. I have that up in the top of the closet over here, and I'm getting ready to next month. This is almost November 1st. December, I will switch out to that one over this one. Now, this is everything that is constant in the bag right now. Some people are going to ask, where's your fire kit, where's your compass, where's this, where's that? I'm still carrying that on me. I'm still carrying that. Y'all have seen my fire kit a bunch of times. I'm still putting those things in my pockets. I'm probably going to weed away from doing that and start putting them in the bag, but right now it's old habits. It's hard not to have that stuff with me. Real quick on the No Limits bag, the No Limits tent. I just saw this sitting over here. That tells you how long it's been since I cleaned the room, because I've had this tent like a year now. It's the Highland Park or Highland Peak. It's very small, very light. It's 92 inches long, 39 inches wide. Great rain fly system, really quick setup. I'll do a full review on the tent here soon. To be 100% honest with you, today's plan was me and Claire were going to set up our tents out in the backyard, show the tent so I could do for this video series, and then after the camera shut off, we were going to seam seal them. It was time to seam seal hers, especially again. As soon as we got ready to set up to go out, it started raining. So that's why this video is coming now. Let me get the camera reset, and then I'll do the closing conversation about the stuff that's not in here, and then we'll see where it goes from here. Okay, as you can see, there's not a whole ton of stuff in my pack. Right now, the entire weight of my pack, including the bag itself, is 24, I think it's 24¼ pounds. Not ultralight. There's some comfort items in it. But as it stands today, I'm pretty happy with the setup I have. It is obviously a work in progress. Couple of things that are not included in the weight of that pack. Extra clothing, extra underwear, extra socks, t-shirts, those kind of things. The reason being is that right now, the most that I'll take this pack out is 2 nights. So I don't take extra clothing, with a couple of exceptions. During the summer, I take a pair of shorts, these big baggy ones I happen to be wearing right now. I sleep in these. When I get the camp set up, I switch over to these and I sleep in these and hang my pants out to dry or air out or whatever. And I carry a clean t-shirt, just whichever t-shirt I grab out of the cabinet. And I sleep in those. When it gets cold, or when I go someplace where it's cold, I don't take the shorts. I take a pair of gray sweatpants that have the elastic at the bottom. I take a pair of merino wool socks. And I take a shirt that I call my sleeping shirt. I think I've talked about it in another video. I may not have, but it'll be coming up in here. As a matter of fact, if you watch the bike packing video that I have, or Kenneth Cram has, where we went bike packing, you'll see that I'm wearing it. I'll be talking. It's a camouflage thing with long sleeves and a zipper. I call it my sleeping shirt. Anyway, so depending on the time of year, the extra clothing that I carry right now changes. I do not have any really long trips planned right now. I'm kind of leery of doing that. So right now I'm going to keep it to 2 nights or less until I get more comfortable with this type of system. Food, I just take whatever I need plus a day. If I'm going to be gone 1 night, I take 2 days worth of food. If I'm going to be gone 2, I take 3 days. Just silly things like that. The weight of the bag does not include water weight for the water that I carry, because that goes up and down depending on how much water I have on me. Like I said, on this kit, I was never trying for ultralight. I did set up an ultralight bag. Kenneth Cram got me thinking about an ultralight bag, and I went and bought this Ozark Trails very light bag. I actually like the bag, and I had it fully set up, and I don't know, he probably still has the email or whatever we're talking about, but I think I got it down to like 6 pounds total weight, everything. But that was based on a hammock system. We can talk about the hammock real quick here. As a lot of you know, I'm a disabled vet. I have bad knees and I have a bad back. For whatever reason, as I've gotten older, fatter, lazier, whatever it is, I have trouble getting comfortable in a hammock. I need to be able to stretch my back in the middle of the night. If my knees get locked up, which happens when you're hammock sleeping. I don't care if I've been doing it 50 years, I still hear people talk about, oh, my knee locked up on me last night. When that happens to me in a hammock, my knee will actually physically swell to twice its size. Makes it hard to work. So as much as I used to love hammock camping, and I have some great hammocks and stuff to go with it, it's pretty much a thing of the past for me. There may be the random trip where I try it again just because I'm stubborn. So when I switched back over to doing a tent, I went and got a new tent. Claire actually took my other one that I've done a review on. She loves it. So this is the kit. We'll see how it works out. Any suggestions, any ideas, I'm always open to, especially on this subject. Until next time, get out in the dirt, have some fun. Thanks.